Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa and I'm the owner of seasonandserveblog.com. Over the past few months we've been tackling a huge backyard project, and today I'm going to show you what we did to redesign our entire backyard. This project took us a few months because it was so much work, but in the end I think it was totally worth it. So if you're interested in tackling a similar project over the spring and summer months, I'm happy to show you what we did and how we transformed our backyard from this hot mess to this beautiful oasis. As you can see, we have a beautiful lawn area and of course an amazing kitchen garden that we built all custom made, where we can grow lots of fruits, vegetables, and herbs this summer. So if you're interested in seeing how we completed this project from start to finish, just keep on watching. So today we are starting on a very large backyard project. We are transforming basically our entire backyard except for our deck area and our raised bed. Everything is going to be taken out, redesigned. It's going to be amazing. So I'm going to show you what the site looks like right now and tell you just generally what our plans are. We don't have all of our materials or all of like the contractors that we need lined up yet, but we will get there, and we're going to try and do most of the work ourselves, like in terms of like the initial like site planning and design and, you know, preparing the site, and then we're going to get some guys to come in and just basically rip out the entire backyard. Sounds a little bit ambitious, a little bit crazy, but I think it's going to look really, really great when it's done. So let me show you what the site looks like right now. Alright, so this is our backyard right now. As you can see, we have a lot of yard space and we don't actually need all of this lawn space. We're very fortunate to have it, but it's a little bit too big for us. So as you can see over here, I've started sort of marking out what we're going to do on this side, and I'll tell you about that in a bit. We'll go down, but this is what it looks like. So this area here is going to be our main lawn space, and unfortunately the previous owners who lived here did not really take good care of the lawn. It is basically all weeds. It is impossible to take all them out. There's lots of clover. On the other side there's lots of moss, so it is not the best. This side of the lawn we are going to keep all grass and just do like a sod lawn sort of thing. And then over here we are going to make this into a raised garden bed area. So you can see I sort of marked out the paths here, so this will be like the main path to walk into it. Over here we're going to do like an herb garden in the middle, and then in this area we're going to do just some big like L-shaped beds. Well, we're going to make it symmetrical, so there's going to be an L here, an L here, an L here, and then an L here. On the paths here, we aren't going to do like grass or anything. We're just going to do like a little pea gravel, so it keeps the weeds out and down, and yeah, it just keeps everything looking clean. So that is the initial plan. It is very ambitious, but I think it's going to look really great when it's done. And just to have that space to grow all of our vegetables and fruits and stuff like that is going to be so great. It is going to be a fair investment up front. I think in the long run, knowing that your food is organically grown and you know what's in it, I think it goes a long way with that. So we'll start with phase 1 of the project. We're going to get to removing those stones, and yeah, it's going to be a really good exercise, especially after Christmas. We eat a lot of food this year, so it'll be a good way to work it off and get some exercise. So let's get to moving some rocks. In order to build our raised beds for our kitchen garden, we had to first begin by removing all of these placer stones. These stones initially did a great job at separating the garden beds from the lawn, or I guess I should say the weeds, and they were fairly easy to remove. They weren't really cemented together. They were somehow glued together, which we thought was interesting, but we just took them all out and we're going to save them for another project around the house. Alright, so here are the plans for the garden. We're going to actually measure out all of the dimensions today for the flower beds and everything else. So I'm going to get to doing that. David's already there with the tape measure. Woo, it's very, there we go. It's all ready to go. So let's map everything out. We began by remeasuring the site and all the dimensions for our kitchen garden just to make sure that our initial measurements were correct, and surprisingly they were, so David did a really good job on coming up with that. And to visualize how the raised beds for the kitchen garden would look, we used a little bit of string and some little plastic stakes to map out the size of the kitchen garden beds. This step was super helpful since we could adjust things as we needed, and we could also walk in between all of the strings to make sure that we had enough room to get through. Alright guys, so the big day is tomorrow. I'm just tidying up the backyard, putting away our tools and stuff like that because the guy is coming tomorrow to excavate the backyard. I'm so excited, oh my gosh. We ripped apart the entire backyard, took out all of the stones, all of our plants that we didn't want anymore, and we took out our existing irrigation line too, we had some fun discoveries with that, but I am so excited. I can't wait for tomorrow, and the next time you see me, I'll be showing you the excavation process. Good morning everyone. We are outside, and as you can see, our backyard has been excavated, our wood has been delivered, so we are going to start trying to level out the garden bed area just so that we can, you know, center the garden beds, make sure we have them where we want them, and then they can come in and, you know, fill in all the spots. So that's what we're doing today. There's a lot of work to be done. I'll show you guys here. There's David getting all ready. So for the wood, we got some cedar and we ordered it from Lumber World. They had a pretty good price on it, but we decided to go with cedar because cedar does not rot, and we figure we're only gonna do this once, hopefully, so we're gonna do it right the first time, and we will have these garden beds forever. So it's pretty good. We got some big 10-foot ones, I think some 8-foot ones, and then these sort of little stake ones so that we can center and hold all the boards together, because we are doing a double layer stacked side by side. That'll be like the height of each garden bed, which is good because there's lots of room for the roots to grow and the plants should be happy. So we're gonna start leveling, and then maybe we'll get to building today. After having the excavator come in, the ground was really messed up with lots of tire tracks and lumps and bumps all over it. And in order to build a raised kitchen garden bed, you need to have the ground as level as possible, especially if you're building the beds directly on the area. So I tackled leveling out the backyard, and I just used our rake that we have from home, and this was really fun and really satisfying, especially watching back the footage. Just seeing it go from a real bumpy mess to nice and smooth and flat is so satisfying. Alright, hello everybody. We are beginning construction today. So we are getting all of our tools set up and everything ready to go for building our garden bed boxes. And this is so exciting. We are really surprised how fast we actually were able to level out the backyard yesterday, and hopefully today will go pretty smoothly. I think we'll have to try a few times to get the cuttings right and do some practice cuts, and then hopefully assembly should go pretty quick. All the beds are the exact same, so fingers crossed we do it right. Here's David setting up all the tools. We have our miter saw here. David's putting up the stand. And then with that we have our drill kit. We have 2 drills. We also got, this is really important to have, outdoor wood screws. So we got a thing of those. And then we have our level, some clamps, a triangle, I don't know what that's called, that thing to make sure everything's squared off. And all of our wood is under the tarp because it rained last night, so luckily we were able to protect it. This is the plan for the garden. It is a bit windy today, so the paper's flying everywhere. But as you can see, we have 4 L-shaped beds that are the exact same. In the middle we have just a square bed. We're going to do that for an herb garden. But this is we have so many versions of this, but we decided on this one as the best use of space. So that is what we're doing, and it'll be laid out kind of like that in front of the greenhouse. So to begin construction, David ended up cutting the cedar boards with his miter saw, and luckily for us, all the beds were the same dimensions, so we ended up just cutting multiple cuts of the same measurement and then just arranged them where we needed them. after all the boards were cut, we began assembling all of our kitchen garden beds. To build the kitchen garden beds, we just simply drilled some exterior wood screws into the cedar boards. Now with other types of wood, you may have to pre-drill holes in case the wood does split, but we found for these cedar boards, we could just drill the screws directly into them and the wood was completely fine. So we drilled the two bottom boards together, and then to add a little bit more stabilization and structure, we did add a little 2x2 just to give it more strength and so the bed would hold together a lot easier. Overall, building these raised kitchen garden beds was really fun and surprisingly went really quick once you got started and got the hang of it. But I would have to say it's definitely a two-person job, and having the ground as level as possible really helps with that as well. Alright, so progress update. We have built one of the beds. As you can see over here, this one's completely done, and we are going to build the second one in the front because we are actually putting in an arbor as like an entrance point, and we want to make sure we have it spaced out perfectly. So let me show you that. So this is the arbor. We got it this year from Canadian Tire, and it's pretty big, so I'm hoping it'll fit in between and create a really nice entrance. I think on the bottom it'll have to go on the inside of the bed, so it'll be staked through the bed, but it should be good. I really like it. I like the height of it, so it'll be basically right in the middle there, just like that. So I'm very excited to put that in, but we gotta finish building this bed first. And luckily we cut most of the pieces of wood that we need, so now it's just basically assembling and then we're good to go. But look how good this one looks. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Good morning, everyone. We had a big day yesterday and we got a lot of stuff done. As you saw, we built all of the raised beds for the garden area, and it looks so good. So today we're gonna work on leveling those out, and we're also gonna build a few more beds in our backyard for our cut flower garden, our herb garden, and our berry garden. So we got lots more stuff to do, and hopefully we can get things done. It does look like it's gonna rain, so hopefully that doesn't happen and we can continue on our building without any issues. So yeah, let me show you the progress that we made yesterday and explain what we're doing today. As you can see, we have this beautiful arbor trellis in the middle, and that'll be sort of the entryway. We'll grow like beans or peas or something on there, but I think it looks really nice and elegant. But as you can see, these are all of the beds. They look so great, but as you can see, they're a little bit wonky. This end's way higher than down here, so we're gonna have to, adjust them to make them all level. And then next week, probably the week after sometime, we're gonna put garden soil in there, and then they're gonna come in and backfill this whole area with gravel. So it's still a lot of work to do, but leveling out the beds will be the big task for today. And then we're gonna build a garden bed over here. This is gonna be our cut flower garden. So it's gonna be just like a long rectangle over here. So we're gonna do that. And this is our berry garden. So over here we have some blueberry bushes and raspberry bushes. Then we have a currant bush over here, kind of went around like that, but we're gonna kind of try and square it off a bit, make it a little bit bigger for the bushes and make it look a lot nicer. So that is the job for today. Now, out of the whole project, I think leveling out the beds was the most difficult thing to do. It was super tedious and you had to be super precise, but we found by placing bricks and flat rocks under the corners of the beds really helped give the beds a nice stability. I also made sure to fill in any gaps under the boards with a little bit of soil, just so that none of the garden soil would leach out and away from the raised garden bed. Hey everyone, so as you can see, we are on another day and we have a whole shipment of dirt in the backyard. This is only half of what we ordered. This is 9 cubic yards, and it is so much. For size comparison, it's a huge pile of dirt. It's gonna be a fun day. We only have one wheelbarrow, so this might take a while. But we'll see what happens. We're doing it kind of like little bit by little bit, just like after work or whatever. And yeah, the sooner we get the dirt in the beds, we can get the guys back to put the gravel down and the sod, and we're getting closer. I'm surprised at how fast this is going, really. Like, it's kind of crazy. So anyways, let me get to work. David will join me in a few minutes, and yeah, enjoy us shoveling dirt into garden bed boxes. Filling up the raised beds for the kitchen garden probably took the longest out of all the tasks that we had. It probably took us about a week to get everything filled up, and we just kind of worked on it a little bit here and there after work or at lunch and stuff like that. But basically what we did to fill it up is first we lined the bottom of each of the raised kitchen garden beds with some cardboard, and we tried to get just regular cardboard, nothing with color printed on it, just plain cardboard. And then we filled the bottom with a layer of topsoil. And then in the middle, I did a layer of compost and chicken manure. And then on top, we did some garden soil. We did choose to do the topsoil on the bottom because it's a little bit sandier and it will provide a lot of structure for the garden bed. And also garden soil was a lot more expensive than topsoil, so we figured a 50-50 mix would be good until we keep adding in our compost and getting the soil where we want it to be. Hello everyone, we are back, and I don't know what day of the project this is, but right now we have almost all of our beds built and filled. Of the beds that we have it all filled. We just have one more bed to build. That's for our herb garden, and we might do that today, we might do it tomorrow, I'm not totally sure. But yeah, it is looking so great. All the beds are filled, the piles of soil are almost all gone, so that's really amazing. And today we're gonna just work on spreading out the rest of the dirt around the house because the backyard is all done basically. So let me show you what it's looking like. So this is an aerial view. Apologies for the light, it's kind of sunny and cloudy today, but that is our main garden area. We still have the herb garden to build in the middle. We're just gonna do a little square there, but it is looking so great, all filled up. We actually had to fill up the beds all the way to the top because the soil compacted quite a bit, even from like the first couple days that we had the beds filled. So we filled it all the way up to the top with garden soil, and that area is looking so beautiful. And then over here, apologies again for the lighting, this is our cut flower bed here. So we are gonna start getting stuff in there. I actually have some ranunculus to plant in there. That'll be the first thing going in there, but that's all gonna be like dahlias and peonies in the summer. It's gonna look super beautiful. So we have that. And then over here we have our berry beds, and oh, let me go down. These are the berry beds here. I am going to remove these roses from this area because I have other things that I want to plant here. But we built this whole little structure. This is our blueberry area, so we have 5 blueberry plants here. And then we have all of our raspberries lined up here. So apologies for not filming the cut flower garden and the berry bed building. We just thought it was like pretty easy to do, and I feel like the raised beds were a little bit more complicated, so I figured I'd want to show you guys that first. But yeah, those were easy to build, and yeah, super simple, super straightforward, and kind of boring to watch. So yeah, those are all done. So in terms of next steps, we're just gonna be leveling the backyard and then just moving dirt today. I'm not gonna film that because it's pretty boring. So yeah, next time I see you guys, it'll be on Thursday because the guys are coming back to actually finish off the backyard. So on Thursday, we're getting the gravel all laid and also the sod, which is amazing. I can't believe it's gonna be done this coming week. Yeah, I'm so excited, oh my gosh. There's Maud. Maud, what are you doing? Oh, what's going on? Hey Maud, how are you doing? Oh, you want to get some treats, huh? She hasn't been around in a while. What do you want, Maud? You want some treats? Oh yeah, I know that's what you want. Let's go get you some, okay? You say hi to everyone? Hello. Okay, let's go get you some treats. Everyone, good morning. We had an early start today and the guys are here. They're putting down the gravel and they're gonna do the sod today, and I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. It's already just like a little bit of gravel's put down and I'm already like ecstatic. So let me show you what they're doing, and yeah, can't believe it's here. All right, so this is all the gravel. They're actually bringing it in with wheelbarrows, so I feel very, very bad for these guys. But the gravel is really nice. It's slightly rounded, which is what I wanted, so that's perfect. I don't want like the sharp stuff. But yeah, they already got all the gravel set back here. Here's all of the sod. Oh my goodness. But it's instant lawn, which is very, very nice. A lot easier than having to seed. All right, everyone, good morning. It's been a few days since the guys finished up. As you can see in the background, we have some beautiful grass. Oh, I'm so happy with it. They did such an amazing job. But today we are gonna do some final touches and then we're gonna do the big reveal. So let's do the final touches. I'm gonna keep arranging things. I might plant some things. I have some herbs that are ready to go into the ground, so very exciting. So let's go. So for final touches, I added a piece of flagstone that we found in our backyard to the outside of our greenhouse so that we have something to step on when we go in and out of the greenhouse. I also planted a couple herbs that I was able to save from our garden before we ripped everything out. So I planted out our chive plant, which came back really, really well this year. I'm so surprised at how good it did in the pot over the spring months. So I put that in the corner, and then on the opposite side, I planted a little parsley plant. And then in the center for the herb garden, I placed my pot of mint and then gave everything a good watering in. That was the final touch, and now we're ready for the big reveal. So in just 3 short months, we were able to transform our backyard from this unkept mess, the lawn full of weeds and poor soil conditions, into this amazing backyard that is both beautiful and functional and will allow us to grow lots of fruits, vegetables, and herbs all year long. And that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button as well as the red subscribe button down below to see more gardening projects that we're going to be tackling this year, as well as all the amazing things that we plan to grow in our brand new kitchen garden. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.